here in June.
I'm sure they work.
I was gone. I thought, oh, it'll be great. I'll be here at the meeting.
It was
and
it was
meeting's
as
on
an
Tuesday. I was like,
attachment.
oh, never mind.
It was an attachment to the email I sent.
I still thought I'd be in the clear because I thought the flight was actually Wednesday morning. Turns out it's Tuesday morning. And I was like, oh, I don't like, those. No, yeah, our meeting was on Monday.
This is
I put it in my calendar wrong even. That's so funny. I don't know what's happening.
Have to work on it.
I've missed so much.
Yeah.
My trip was May. That's what I missed. Why did I miss in June?
That's all
All right.
Yeah.
I missed in June?
Council, are we ready?
Yes.
And Mayor? All right. I'd like to welcome everybody. We're going to start off tonight, as well this afternoon, with a public hearing regarding the 2025 CDBG program. I'm going to hand it off over to Janelle, and she'll fill us in on what everything is going on with that. So,
Okay,
thank
well,
you, Janelle.
thank you. So today, the public hearing is on three important CDBG items: our 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan, our 2025 Annual Action Plan, and an amendment to our 2023 Annual Action Plan. So every 5 years, the city prepares a consolidated plan as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This plan identifies the community development and housing needs in Lebanon and outlines strategies and goals for investing our Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, funds over the next 5 years. The 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan was developed through an extensive process that includes a review of our demographic and housing data, consultation with public agencies, nonprofit organizations, business and civic leaders, and residents. We also conducted a community needs survey and hosted 2 public hearings to ensure community input helped shape the priorities of the plan. The city's priorities over the next 5 years will continue to focus on improving the quality of life for low and moderate income residents in neighborhoods. These priorities include supporting affordable housing through housing rehabilitation and partnerships to increase home ownership, investing in public facilities and infrastructure such as street improvements, parks, and code enforcement to stabilize neighborhoods, addressing blight through acquisition and demolition of unsafe and vacant structures, supporting programs and services that prevent homelessness and assist those at risk in partnership with local service providers, enhancing public safety and community engagement through crime prevention efforts in low moderate income neighborhoods, and providing effective planning and administration to ensure that these programs are carried out effectively and remain in compliance with HUD requirements. The 2025 Annual Action Plan is the first year of this 5-year strategy and allocates a total of $715,929 in CDBG funding, which includes the 2025 entitlement grant of $695,929 and an estimated $20,000 in program income. These funds are proposed as follows: $104,000 under public services, which is crime prevention to increase police presence and community engagement in low-income neighborhoods, $200,000 for milling and resurfacing for city streets in low and moderate income areas, $130,000 for code enforcement to address property maintenance violations in stabilized neighborhoods, $151,929 to acquire and rehab or demo properties that are hazardous and blighted. And then $130,000 is allocated to support the planning, oversight, and administration of the city's CDBG program. This includes staff time, compliance monitoring, reporting to HUD, and coordination of all activities funded through the program. In addition to those core functions, a portion of the general administration budget will also support broader housing planning and coordination initiatives aimed at addressing local housing needs and implementing priorities identified in the consolidated plan. As part of this effort, the city is partnering with a couple community organizations, including the Community Health Council of Lebanon County, to support a new dedicated housing position. This role will focus on strengthening housing strategies across the city and the county. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over real quickly to Nikki Maurer-Gray, the Executive Director of the Community Health Council, to share more on this exciting initiative and how this position will serve the community.
Hi. Great. So I'm very happy to be here tonight. Thank you guys for being willing to be open to this request. I'm here on behalf of the Community Health Council, but also Lebanon County Christian Ministries, who is our biggest partner in this effort. You may have heard that recently Lebanon County Christian Ministries received a grant from WellSpan Health for $750,000 over the next 3 years to address housing insecurity here in Lebanon County. The Community Health Council is a partner in that request. Lebanon County Christian Ministries is the fiduciary, though, so I just want to be clear on that. This grant has 4 main components, 3 of which are fully funded, and I do want to just touch on those for a second before I talk about the 4th component, which is what I'm here to talk to you all about. The first component is some capital funds for Lebanon Rescue Mission to expand their shelter capacity, specifically for women with children and seniors and veterans. They will be receiving, it's roughly $40,000 a year over 5 years. I know I just told you that it was a 3-year grant. It's all part of a braided funding model that I'm going to expand on in just a little bit. That is fully funded with the WellSpan dollars. The second part, and that will address like what we consider to be emergency housing. The second part of the grant is to build housing stability through keeping families housed using Lebanon County Christian Ministries Uplift Light program that they're already they've already started and they're doing the work already. This is like eviction prevention and working with folks on rental assistance and immediate needs, et cetera, to keep families in their homes. That part of the grant, or that part of the program, is also fully funded by the WellSpan dollars coming in. Our third goal is to convene a brand new Lebanon County Housing Collaborative. We have laid the groundwork for this grant. We have laid the groundwork for this collaborative already. Janelle and I and the city have been a great partner in this, in getting folks, stakeholders throughout the county to be interested in a housing collaborative. We held 2 workshops this spring that were very, very successful. And we believe that we will be able to bring a lot of stakeholders, important stakeholders in the housing realm together around the table to really discuss future plans for housing insecurity and building up the housing infrastructure here in Lebanon County. The collaborative will fall under the Community Health Council, very similar to how the Suicide Prevention Task Force falls under, or name another task force that we have, food insecurity, mentor a mother. Anyway, there are 11 different initiatives under the Community Health Council already. So that's how I'm involved. That part of our goals actually do not require any funding, since it's just coalition building, which we already are experts at the Community Health Council. However, the 4th part of this program is establishing a housing development director here in the county. And this is a very novel concept that we've come up with, involving a public-private partnership. We are utilizing a fair amount of the $750,000 to fund this position, but we are also asking for other stakeholders to contribute to this position. This person will run the housing collaborative that I just talked about. They will do things like facilitate partnerships between all of the different sectors. They're going to be engaging with municipal leaders, specifically, hopefully the city, especially because you guys are such a willing and ready, you got your boots on the ground already with housing initiatives. And so we really think that the city can make a good example to a lot of the other municipalities throughout the county on great work that can be done in the housing sector. They can help market Lebanon County as a housing development destination. They're going to be identifying and pursuing additional housing opportunities, funding opportunities. There's lots of money out there that Lebanon County is leaving on the table because we simply do not have a person that is on first for a lot of these initiatives. And then they're also going to be able to track outcomes and really track progress throughout the county. So the way that we have this braided funding model set up is that the grant, it's a 3-year grant. We're putting some money in reserve each year to stretch the grant to 5 years, or the grant funds to 5 years, specifically around the short-term housing projects like LRM's project and the director position. And then we're pulling in other sources of funding to create this position for 5 years to start, but hopefully even up to 10 years, because we really think that nobody can walk into a position like this and do everything and really prove themselves within a 3-year time frame. My first grant was a 3-year grant, just like as a point of reference, and I'm on my 8th. I'm going to my 8th year as the director at the Community Health Council. So we have already secured a partnership from the county. The county has agreed to use Act 137 dollars over the next 10 years to the tune of $500,000 total. So we're here to see if the city is willing to be a contributor to that. We think that this position can really help move projects here in the city forward. I know that the mayor runs a super lean staff and we could all use an extra hand. And similar to the way that I help other organizations in the county write grants, and the Community Health Council is a collaborative partner in a lot of funding that has come to the county, including this housing grant that we just received. That is the type of work that this position will do. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Do we want to do, I'm going to finish up this section.
Yep, you do that.
But essentially, so what Nikki said, that what the city would be providing portion of would come out of CDBG money out of general administration to assist with this position. So,
And
moving
how
on.
much would that be, Janelle?
So we're looking at this year, it would be $5,000. And then, like she said, it's a braided approach. So over the next then 4 years, which would take up our 5-year consolidated plan, an additional $20,000 for each of those years. That would go towards this position. And that we'd have to do subrecipient agreements annually. We can't upfront say, yes, we're committing, because we don't have our annual allocation from CDBG until that year. So
we would make it contingent upon a couple of different factors,
Yeah.
which we
But-
can go into.
we included it as an initiative in our 5-year plan for these reasons. We really feel strongly about it, and it will greatly help. I'm one person, so having someone who can expand upon our 5-year plan and really focus on housing will be huge.
And I apologize, I think you wanted to finish.
Yes,
so.
okay. So, wow, we've made measurable progress over the last 5 years investing in streets, parks, code enforcement, and public safety. We've learned valuable lessons during the pandemic about the need for flexibility, improved outreach efforts, and increased support for housing preservation and new housing. The 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan reflects those lessons and submits ambitious but achievable goals to strengthen our neighborhoods and improve quality of life for our residents. So at this time, we'll welcome comments and questions and suggestions on the Consolidated Plan or 5-year plan. And public comments are accepted until July 30th. Any comments can also be emailed to me, to jgroh@lebanonpa.org. That's jgroh@lebanonpa.org. And then we'll be submitting our annual action plan in early August, prior to the August 16th deadline. So that's the end for the first portion. I'll take questions, and then I'll go into the fiscal year 23 amendment.
So I know what they may be wanting to ask. So I'm going to go over what those criteria would be or what we believe our conditions should be. So the funding, again, as Janelle indicated, would come from our CDBG administrative and planning funds, which were capped at 20%. So based on all of our needs here at the city level, plus what we're proposing to do over that total of a 5-year period of time, we believe that will, fall under that maximum limitation. We also would make it contingent upon the use of that funding is an eligible item under HUD regulations as a planning and administrative cost, because if they say no, it can't be in that category, we would have to regroup and determine if we could pay for it in another line item. We're comfortable committing $20,000 for the 4 years and $5,000 this year, but only if our annual entitlement allotment remains at the same level or increases. If it would drop, then we have to start looking at what we would need to cut. Also, that CDBG funding in its entirety is not eliminated from the federal budget, or if it's, not significantly reduced, again, representing a decrease. And again, since we can't formally commit on an annual basis until we get our HUD-approved annual entitlement, we would have to execute 1-year subrecipient agreements. And then we would work with the organizations to develop the scope of work, what type of reporting, documentation, because everything needs to be in compliance with HUD requirements, of course, that we can make sure that we're being monitored and complying with their requirements. So those are all of the things that Janelle worked so hard to make sure happen. It would be contingent upon those items every year. But we feel this is something that really, housing is a big item. And, like Janelle indicated, she's only one person and we keep her hopping. So working in partnership with Community Health Council, and hopefully we can get, not only the county, that's huge, the 500,000, but if we can get other municipalities to understand the need for housing in our county, they have to be aware of it. I just would hope that they would consider collaborating and coming on board as a partner.
Currently, who, is it the county and Lebanon City would be the two?
Yeah,
Governments, yeah.
Okay.
as of right now.
As of right?
Yeah,
And
but-
I understand, as,
yeah.
the city, we are the major.
Yeah, we do think that this position will be able to start seeking like sustainability funding. Probably not in the first 2 years. In the first 2 years, we have a lot of goals for this person real early on. But similar to the way that I seek funding for the Community Health Council initiatives, this person would be working on that. Just this week, we saw 2 grants that we could have applied for if
Yep.
either of us had time.
Yeah.
So,
And with those grants, there's admin dollars that help
Yeah.
fund then salaries and things like that. So
Yeah.
for
And
longevity of the position.
I did just want to add quickly, something I didn't mention was in our housing needs assessment that we did 2 years ago in partnership with the city, that was a really great start to this whole thing. The number one recommendation was a champion for housing in the county, like a person. So this has been a goal that we've been working on for 3 years, to get a person overseeing these projects.
So my question ties a little bit into what has been brought up already. So you said there's 2 government entities that are part of this collaboration, part of your three-pronged plan. So you said that there was a workshop with individuals or organizations. I don't necessarily need specifics who they were, but what are the professionals and organization types that you're bringing in to collaborate with?
Oh, that's a great question. I did want to also mention that this person, although they'll be an employee of LCCM for the first 3 years for sure because of the grant and the fiduciary responsibility that falls under the grant, the position will actually have oversight through a 5-person advisory board that will include myself, Janelle, Dan Lyons from the Housing Authority, Jamie Wolgamuth. I think it will be someone from the county. We think it's going to be Jamie and Brian. So the person will meet regularly and have oversight by a 5-person advisory board. In terms of the collaborative, we had over 100 attendees at the very first session, which included landlords, developer. We had a lot of the big developers came. Many of the social services here in the county came. We had a number of builders also there. Folks like HDC, they sent a representative. They're the affordable housing developer that is in Lancaster. I'm thinking,
Some real estate agents.
yeah, of course, real estate
It was like
agents.
really broad for both sessions. It was really
Yeah,
broad, well-attended sessions.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of interest.
Yeah.
I have a question of procedure. I don't know who could address it, but with our vote for Monday on this plan, does that include the $5,000, or will that be approved later in August after your
So
full
that
plan?
$5,000 falls under general administration, that $130,000.
So that's included here on Monday. Thank you.
And Janelle, would you say that's I mean, this CDBG funding each year, usually it's the same stuff?
Yes.
This is the big addition, or the new addition to the CDBG?
So we're actually, as I get into my second part of the annual action plan, we aren't spending, because of how much we get in program income each year, which I have a 10-year range of how much we've received somewhere, or it's on that email that you have, Mayor. I know I printed it. So we estimate each year $20,000 in program income that goes into our admin pot. And we've been capping it at $130,000 annually. Technically this year, we could cap it at $143,000. And each year, so 2015, 31,000, 2016, 37,000, 2018, 26,000, 2019, 61,000, 2020, 58,000, 2023, which we're going to be adjusting our budget. We received $85,000 in program income. So that program income goes into, we have to use it before we use our grant funding. So we're not using all of our admin money. That's why we have carryover. So confidently with what we get with general administration, our annual entitlement and program income, I feel we can do this, and it would be comfortable. We wouldn't be stretched in our department and administering our program. And again, this position really would be a huge help to administer our 5-year plan and really focus on housing, because that's something we haven't really been able to do as much as we really would like to. I hope that answered your question. Okay.
Any other questions from council at this point?
I just, another question. I missed it. What's the official title for this position? I know it's this position, this person, but
Yeah,
I
it's
heard-
the Housing Development Director.
thank you.
And Nikki, their office would be, where would they actually work out of?
Well, they'll
Just
have
curious.
a hoteling space at Lebanon County Christian Ministries.
Okay.
We talked about them actually working out of potentially the city offices one day a week or something like
I
that.
don't think we have any space.
Yeah, right. But really, we want this person to be out, like
Sure.
around. So they'll be maybe working from home a little bit, at meetings.
And Nikki for housing.
It's a me for housing. That's what we keep saying.
All right, well, I don't think that I have any more questions at this point. Took down a bunch of notes. This is very interesting. I like the idea of collaboration, public and private, and I know there's a lot of work to do. Obviously, the study that we had 2 years ago showed that. I mean, I know that's a national need, but it also is included in our community, and we have work to do. So, yeah, I like the direction that this is going. So,
And I know I've heard a number of people ask, okay, you did that study 2 years ago, and so this is great to be able to follow up now and say, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think with the mayor's plans to have the city have a housing action plan this year, The county is in the middle, or knock on wood, is working on the comp plan update. You know, this is a great time for somebody to step in and be a consultant and an extra pair of hands in both of those plans. So that's really like low-hanging fruit, year one goal is to get those plans written and published.
And be able to offer input into the county's comp plan, and then the city's following up, and we're going to be doing, hopefully, our comp plan as soon as the county's done with theirs. So it's important to get that professional level of expertise, knowledge of housing into those plans.
So,
Go ahead, Karen.
am I on? Where do you find a person
That's my
that meets all these criteria?
It's a very good question. We're not, it's a little bit of a unicorn. So we're hoping to find somebody with everything, right? There are two, in my opinion, two big pillars. It's like a lot of housing knowledge, and then also like a really good coalition builder, community engagement, grant writing, et cetera. If we can't marry the two, if we can't find that unicorn, I do think it's more important to have somebody who's like a convener, well-known in the community, who can pull the people together, because you can come up to speed on housing. There are 3 housing-specific conferences in the next 2 months that this person could attend. You can get a crash course and all this stuff. You can meet with developers, find out their barriers. You can meet with the city, find out the barriers. You can meet with landlords. You can go, like, we have so many organizations that have specialty expertise that this person could learn from. So I think the most important thing is that we have somebody who can bring people together and who is, you know, willing to learn and pick up. Because I'm not entirely sure we're going to find
Right,
that unicorn.
yeah. I just didn't know if there was like I don't want to say not a pool of people, but are they already in government? Are they working at the state? Like,
I don't know.
do you have a direction of, where?
We have a job
working?
description written. We
Okay.
are waiting to find out about our, private-public partnership opportunity. We don't want to put the cart before the horse, but we do have a job description. We're ready to hit the ground running on recruiting, like, very, very soon.
Yeah.
And this would be a full-time position?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And another question, is it your department that would be making the hiring decision? Is it the advisory supervisory board?
It will be the advisory board,
whole board.
which is already, we have a commitment from, like I said, everybody except for,
The
I
county.
think Jamie's like not 100%. It's going to be somebody from the county, whether it's Julie or Jamie.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I want to be clear, sorry, that Brian, that LCC, I'm here on behalf of Brian, really, but Brian and LCCM are not, like, providing direct oversight of this position. It's really going to be managed by this advisory board,
They're just a vehicle because of the grant.
the fiduciary
Yeah, the
responsibility, yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts or questions from council at this time? All right. And Janelle, you said you still have more, right?
Yeah, my
Yep.
my
All right.
second half, I'm gonna fly through this, but.
Hey, no
um,
worries.
So in addition to the new consolidated plan and annual action plan, the city is also proposing an amendment to our fiscal year 2023 annual action plan to reprogram unused funds, which they're unused, as I mentioned, because of the plethora of the program income that we received that year. Specifically, the city is proposing to relocate $45,000 in unspent fiscal year 2023 CDBG funds originally budgeted for general administration to support public facility improvements at Northeast Park, a community park serving residents of low and moderate income neighborhoods. The reprogramming of funds were initially budgeted for eligible administration and planning expenses under fiscal year 2023, but remain due to an increase of program income received that year. The grant funding was unspent on administration costs during that program year. So by reallocating these funds, the city will address identified community needs by enhancing recreation amenities and public spaces at Northeast Park, consistent with the goals and priorities in our consolidated plan. This amendment is consistent with the city's citizen participation plan and was made for public view and comments during the June 30th through July 30th public comment period. All comments received will be considered prior to submission of this budget amendment. And at this time, I welcome any comments, questions, or suggestions. And again, if you have any comments outside of this, we're accepting comments until July 30th, and you can email those to jgrow@lebanonpa.org.
So the reason why we're reallocating or requesting this, the 45,000, is because we are upgrading and improving the playground at Northeast Park. And we need an additional $45,000 in order to complete that project.
There was already some improvements that happened this year, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's just a continuation of
Not at
that project,
park.
not at that
We
park.
did at
Okay.
East End, 6th and Crowell, and 3rd and Crowell.
I was thinking
So we're
East End,
trying
yeah.
to get to all of the parks that need improved.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Any questions from council for Janelle? I don't think that I have anything at this point, so thank you for your information, and thank you, Nikki, for coming out and filling us in on all these changes, movements. So appreciate the work that you guys put into our community. But
Thank you, Nikki.
all right. So at this time, we're going to move into our pre-council meeting. So just starting to go over the agenda, the assignment of the prayer will be to me. You guys all council received the minutes for the June 23rd, 2025 meeting. So take a look at those, and if you have any corrections or deletions, as you all know, just get in touch with Cheryl. And at this time, we will have the budget report for January 1st through June 30th, 2025. So, Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So 50% of the budget year is completed, and revenues are at 64% approximately, expenditures around 40%, so we're performing better than budgeted in both categories.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Any questions for the mayor regarding the budget report? All right. Monday, we will have communication from Mayor Sherry L. Capello informing council of the reappointment of Guadalupe Barba and Janelle Grau, Joseph Morales, Richard Wirtz to the Design Review Board for a 5-year term effective July 22nd, 2025. And I will pass this over to the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is a 7-member board, and each term is 5 years. And the representatives are a representative of the Lebanon Valley Conservancy or the Lebanon County Historical Society, a member of the Lebanon Foundation, which is also referred to as CLA, staff person of the Community and Economic Development Office, a downtown property and/or business owner, an artist, a member of City Council, and a member of the Lebanon Valley Council of Arts. So these particular individuals, Guadalupe is representing the downtown business owner, Janelle, of course, staff. Mr. Morales, member of City Council, and Richard Wirtz is representing the Historical Society. The layout or the policy, the ordinance actually for this is under zoning, and this is to review any murals or street art in the city of Lebanon, which is any art that can be viewed from a public space, or a mural that can be viewed from a public space. And all of these are reappointments.
So we have 4 members that are up for reappointment. When do the other, you said it's a 7-member board, when do the other 3, when do their terms roll over? It's
know,
just,
Cheryl?
Are they staggered?
Okay. I'd have to verify for sure.
it's not that important, I was just curious, so. Any questions from council?
I have a question with Vice Chairman Morales representing City Council. Is that problematic with a 5-year term, seeing as he's not
He'll
seeking
have to
reelection?
resign at the end of the year.
So that will be a position we're planning to fill.
Yes.
I see. Thank you.
So if city council would like to think about that.
Oh, boy.
And of course, you know, whoever will be on city council as of 1/1, you know,
Yeah.
it can be any member from.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
For Monday night, we will also have 2 resolutions. The first approving the 5-year consolidated plan for the fiscal year 2025 through 2029 and the fiscal year 2025 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program. And obviously, we spoke about this a little bit, but Mayor, if there's any more you would like to fill in with this resolution.
I think we talked long enough about it.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, does council have any questions for the mayor at this time? All right. Who would like to take this resolution?
I will.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Our second resolution for Monday night will be the amending the annual plan for the community planning and development programs with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for fiscal year 2023 to re-budget unspent funds to support public facilities and recreation improvements. So $45,000 of unspent funds under general administration will be re-budgeted to support public facilities and recreation improvements. And again, we spoke about this, but is there anything else you'd like to fill us in? Okay,
I have a question,
sure, Sean.
Chairman. Just, you said it was going to be for Northeast Park. Is that reflected in the language of the amendment, or just where you're authorized to use the funds for recreational facilities, and that's your intended goal?
So if for some reason it's not moving forward with that specific location, in the annual action plan, I'm not specifically saying that location, so I'll do that when it's time, after it's approved, and then have to do our environmentals. So it doesn't happen there, it could be used
At a different rec.
facility.
Perfect. I appreciate the flexibility there. So, perfect.
Thank you, Sean. Any other questions at this time from council? Okay. Who would like to take this resolution?
I'll take it.
Okay, thank you, Karen. And that wraps up our agenda for this coming pre-council or council meeting this Monday, coming Monday. This time I'm going to open the floor to council or the mayor's office for anything that is for the good of the city. Okay, sounds good. I just had one thing that I wanted to say, super simple. I am just really enjoying driving through our downtown right now. The trees are looking amazing, the flowers are looking amazing. We really, you know, having it all just come together and everything just growing now this year. We really have a beautiful downtown. So I know all of you come and work in the city and are through the city, and I'm sure you've all taken note, but that was something that was impressed on me coming through again today, so I wanted to share that. Other than that, I have nothing, so I would say everybody have a good night, and I will end weekend, and I will see you on Monday.
Monday.
So thank you all. Have a great night.